Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video on this channel for me today from CcSpeedUk. So doing something a little bit different today in this video. As you can see by the title and the back of the screen, we're doing a tier list for the 2024 Formula 1 annuities in the background. So yeah, so I've got all the 10 annuities for since the beginning of the annuities, beginning of February, for about 2 weeks now since the first one, or the one that was a bit earlier. So yeah, so I'll put a tier list. If you want to have a go at this tier list, the tier list is in the link description, so you can have a go at any time you want. So it's this one right here. So you go into it and then you make your own tier list, your own words and all that kind of stuff, and how you feel about it. So this is how I feel about it for today's video. I've got all the annuities right here in order. I'm going to do something a little bit different instead of doing it in order like I did last time. But I'll just do it one by one and all that. And on the left side, right here, where my mouse is, you got very good, good, okay, bad, very bad. So I've got 5 categories there. Well, like they do on tier list. So I've got 5 here instead of how many you need. You can have many as you want, but I thought 5 would be the simple way and all that. So yeah, so make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. That'll appreciate it a lot. That'll give me support. So like that. So let's get on to this tier list. Let's start off with Aston Martin first. Aston Martin for me, when I first saw it, on Monday morning, I think it was. That was a week ago. The annuity, it's the same color as last season. Was kind of dark green or like that. So it looks a bit similar like Ferrari in an icon colorway. Like Ferrari's always red. Aston Martin's going to be in that color, so it's a bit similar like Ferrari kind of. But the only thing that's changed on the Aston Martin is the sponsors. They've moved the sponsors around a little bit. The sponsors are the same as last season, but they moved it around a little bit just to change it a little bit. So that's why it's different. So it's an okay category for me, the Aston Martin team. So I'm not having a go, but please don't hate me on this. This is how I feel about it for these tier lists. So yeah, same like Ferrari, the Aston Martin. So it's a bit similar like Ferrari and Red Bull, because Red Bull has the same sponsor for the last 20 years now, because it's their 20th car they made for the Red Bull team. So yeah, that's why I put Aston Martin in the okay category for this one. It's not because of the sponsor. It's not just the color. It's not too bad. It's not a bad annuity. It's not too bad, but it's an okay annuity. So that is why I'm being it okay at the moment and all that. So yeah, let's go on to Red Bull. Another okay annuity for the Red Bull team. Similar to last year, exactly the same as last year's and a year before that. And also the last couple of years in the same Red Bull sponsor. So not having a go. So the nose is a little bit different. And I wasn't expecting, but I think I try and do something different or something. And also it's a little bit different on the side of the engine cover. It looks like Mercedes from last year's car. So apart from the annuity, on the part wise, on the engine cover, it looks a bit like Mercedes in 2023 last season. I'm quite surprised. Yeah, so I'm quite surprised with that. So yeah, it's what it is. So the annuity is exactly the same as last year. So it's an okay annuity because it's not a bad annuity. It's kind of a Red Bull icon annuity. So I'm not having a go at Red Bull. It's the same as last year. So it's okay. It's okay for me. So I'm not having a go. So and all that. So let's move on to the IP now. IP, it's not a good annuity. It's a bad annuity. It's not terrible. It's just bad. I mean, I wish it was a bit more blue on there, like last season. That would have been a bit. It would have been, if it was more color on there, it would have been a bit better than black, because it looks like Mercedes in the other way. It looks like Mercedes kind of from last season, but without the pink on it. And then when they made a pink version for the first 3 races for the past 2-3 years now, I think it was. I think it's for about 2 years now since they did the pink version. The pink version was even worse than the original one. So that's even worse. So, yeah. I'm not sure about this nudity. It's kind of my least favourite nudity out of all of them so far. So, it's definitely my least favourite. So, out of... It's even less least than the other ones as well. Yeah, it's a bad nudity for the Ipeen team. They could have done a bit better with the colour, and it could have put more colour on it. Would have been better instead of using black and trying to say. I'm not sure they're trying to say weight or something, but I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, something like that. It is a bad. I hope everyone agrees on this. So because if they're not, I'll be quite surprised. So it's what it is. Let's move on to let's move on something. Let's move on to Ferrari. Ferrari. Um, the Liberty's not that bad. The wheel is a little bit different on the wheel cover, I think it was, where it's called. The number looks nice. The little bit of Nello this time. A little bit of Nello I was expecting. On the side of the Liberty and all that, like that. Then in the nose is okay. The wings is okay. The number is really good, and the Liberty is not too bad. For me, I'm going to put it in very good because it's a very good Liberty. I'm quite surprised. It's not because I'm a Ferrari fan and because my favourite colour is red and all that. Don't hate me on this. Red is my favourite colour. It is true. And I'm not... It's not... well, if I was Italian, yes, I would be a Ferrari fan. Everyone's a Ferrari fan. So I'm not having to go here. So yeah. It's a really good Liberty. So I'm not having to go. So I'm not having to go at Ferrari. So yeah. So it's my favorite. It's kind of my favorite nudity so far. Out of some nudities I've seen. So well, it's better than the Ipeen team. So not having to go here and all that. Let's move on to McLaren. McLaren is orange and black this year. A little bit different compared to last season. Well, because it's their 60th anniversary last year. Because it's been 60th anniversary because of the McLaren team from last season. Same as Red Bull, they made their 20th Red Bull this year. So it's a bit similar to that. So McLaren, orange and black. Nudity not too bad. It's a good nudity. So I'm not having a go. So I don't mind the McLaren nudity actually. So it's in a good category. So for this one. So I don't mind it. I don't mind the McLaren actually, so it's a good nudity for this one. Williams, another good nudity. I'm quite surprised. What is different on the Williams team? They got more sponsors this time around compared to last season, and also they got different shades of blue. Like you got dark blue, you got normal blue, and you got a little bit of night blue in there, like tiny bit of night in there. So different types of blue in there. So I thought it looks very nice when I first saw it. So I really like it. So I don't actually mind it. So I really like it though. So I mean I don't mind it. So it's kind of one of my favourites to look at, and same as Ferrari and the other. I think the other two as well. So not going to go. So yeah, McLaren, I don't mind it. Williams doesn't look too bad. I don't mind those two liberties. It's better than these two. So it's better than this one. So down there. It's better than that. Let's move on to the Haas, the American team. It's an okay nudity. It's not a bad nudity. It's an okay nudity for me. It's the same colours as last year. The only changes the sponsors around and colours just changing around a little bit. It's the same colours as last year. A little bit different compared to last season. Just changing around a little bit with the sponsors and the colours and all that. I don't mind it to look at. It's an okay nudity for me. So for this one, for the Haas team, so it's an okay nudity. So I don't mind it. I mean, it is definitely better than the Ipeen team. So I keep saying it a few times now. So yeah, I wish the Ipeen could have done a bit better with the colour and all that. That's what I have to say about the Ipeen team and all that. So yeah, so I'm okay with this team. These are okay at the moment. For the Haas team. It could have done, the colours could have done a bit better, but it's they could have done a tiny bit better, but it's what it is. So it sounds like Asimon, they could have done a little bit different, but it looks like, well, it looks like Ferrari and Red Bull are similar, so it's a bit similar to that. Now I'm going to go at that. And then Red Bull is been like that for a few years, and of course it's going to be Red Bull the same annuity as always, so that's why it's okay at the moment for the Red Bull team and all that. So let's move on to the Sauber team. It used to be the Alfa Romeo at the time for about 3 or 4 seasons now, or something like that. It used to be Sauber at the time. Then it went, I don't know. It was Sauber. Then it went to Alfa Romeo. Then it back to Sauber again. And the only changed a little bit on the Sauber team is the sponsor, Kickware is called. That's the main sponsor for this team. A little bit different I was expecting with the Snine Green and all that. Different types of Snine Green, like names, and I found it quite funny on the nice stream one time, like all these weird names. I was like, very interesting on someone's nice stream, so it's very funny at the time. It's definitely better than an IP annuity. The engine cover could have been a bit better on the side of the engine cover, could have been a bit better. It looks like a My Team career mode thing, so yes, it's a bit similar to that when you see annuities unlocked and all that. Yeah, so it's an okay annuity, but the engine cover on the side could have been a bit better, but the front is okay. The wheel cover's okay. It's just the engine cover on the side could have been a bit better, so that's what it is. So that's what I have to say about it. So yeah, I don't. It's yeah. I mean, I'm not sure about this one, but it's an okay. It's between okay and bad for me. So I'm gonna be an okay for now. So and then I'll say later on in the season, it should be okay. These ones should be very good, and then this one should be not too bad, and Asman would be okay. This one will be like still not sure at the end of the season, maybe like okay and bad, but it's just what it is. So that's what teams are. So they just make their own decisions and all that. But it's not how we feel about it. So this is how we feel about it. So including myself really and all that. Right, let's move on to the confusing team. It's a bit this one, the bit similar like Toro Rosso vibes. So it looks like a Toro Rosso to me. So I might just keep saying Toro Rosso instead of RB app, where it's called. I might just call it Toro Rosso in what it used to be back in the day. It looks similar like Toro Rosso new vibes in 2019 and 18, where it was at the time, or something, or even 2017 maybe. I don't know, bit similar to that, kind of. And it used to be Toro Rosso. They went to AlphaTauri for 4 seasons, I think it was, up to 2023, and then in 2024 they made this weird team name, like a cash app RB team, something like that. The annuity is not too bad though. I'm quite surprised. Definitely an okay. It's between good and okay to me, but for me, I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it in good. It's between good and okay annuity to me, and then by the end of this, by later on in the season, or even the second half of the season, maybe it would be a good annuity to look at. It is not a bad annuity. It's an okay good annuity for me. It's not a bad annuity. It's just the team name could have been a bit better. It could have called it. It could have renamed Toro Rosso. That's what they should have done, but they didn't. I would have called it Toro Rosso if they're trying to recreate the team name. Like you got Sauber, and then you got yeah, it's just Sauber. So if it was Sauber, I would have been okay with it. Like what they did on this one. They used to be Alfa Romeo, but they changed it to Sauber. I don't mind that. This one, they should have called it Toro Rosso, but they didn't. They should have called it Toro Rosso. I don't understand. What is going on with the Italian team? Apart from, I'm not blaming Ferrari because Ferrari's been there since the beginning. And then this one, why is it called RB Cash App? Where that team name called? You should have just called it Toro Rosso or something, or just keep AlphaTauri. But it's not. I'm not sure about the nudity in the AlphaTauri, but you should have just called it Toro Rosso. That's what I would have done. Well, it's what it is, but I'm not complaining, but it's how I feel. It's a good nudity though. I'm not complaining, but the team then could have been a bit better, like the Sauber team. That's what it should have done and all that. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to the final nudity. Mercedes. They're gone for a little bit different this year. Instead of black and silver 2 years ago and black last year, different types of colours there. Mercedes and in silver and black, different types around. So instead of one by one, they decided to do both this year, silver and black this year, and also a little bit of red on the top. So because of the sponsor and all that. For me, when I first look at it, it was like, it's not bad. It's between okay and good. To me, it's between okay and good for this one, but when I looked at it more on the side and the front, it doesn't look too bad, and it looks good to me. The engine cover looks good. The side looks good on the rear side, and then the wheels are not too bad on the wheel covers, so I don't mind it. The front wing's okay, and then I wish that 9 green where the silver is above the front tire, underneath the halo where the silver is. You know that small 9 green or kind of not 9 green, but kind of different type of green, like a sponsor thing where it's called. I'm not sure they have the sponsor now, but it used to be back in the day. I'm not sure they've still got it, but they might have. I mean, that's a little bit of green on the silver bit there. If it was a little bit thinner, that would have been a really good nudity. That would have been a good nudity, and it would have been a very good nudity. But it looks like a Formula E car, so I'm not complaining about it. But it looks similar to that. But when I looked at it for about 5 minutes, I really actually like it. I don't mind this nudity actually. So it's a good nudity. So I've been in the good category. So if by later on in the season, it should be very good, like the Ferrari is. It is very good. Ferrari's very good, so I don't mind it. So time later on should be very good, same as the other teams. These ones should be, I think they should be okay, and some of them may be good. This one is going to be bad. Time I get to halfway to the season, so I'm not complaining about the Alpine team. It's just I wish it was more paint and all that. So yeah, so that's how so there you go. That is my tier list for the 2024 nudities for the 10 teams for this season. So that's how I feel. So let me know in the comments how you feel about it, and also I made a tier list in the link description, so you can have a go at any time you want. Like I said earlier in the video, so it's there if you want to have a go. So how you feel about it. So this is how I feel. So don't blame me on this. So I'm not having a go. So and all that. So that's how I feel about it and all that. Yeah, so that's for me today. So make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. I'll appreciate it a lot. That'll give me support and all that. So thank you for support and all that. Yeah, so hope you guys have a nice day. I hope you guys have a nice weekend, including myself. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a nice day. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your week, well, where it is, during the week where you do at any time you want. So yeah, so have a nice day. Enjoy your day. And see you there.